the end these things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you let go? How can we find the freedom of heart in this world of birth and death? We can start by recognizing that everything is subject to change. From the universal perspective, everything that is born will eventually die. The end of things, however, marks the beginning of something new. Death is natural. Many people are sick, and some will die even this year. Others will live longer and then die. This is the human destiny. We can cherish life, but in the end, we will have to let it go. For many of us, there may be a strong fear of dying. What is this fear of death about? Often, we think of this mind-body as something solid and secure, representing the person we are. Naturally, when we hold this view, the possibility of death can be frightening. It feels like a betrayal of our deepest beliefs about who we are, and who is in control. Once, Buddha was approached by a man who, as usual, questioned him. "Are you a Buddha, a blessed one, a wise one, an enlightened one?" Buddha nodded. The man then asked, "How can we practice or live in a way that we are not seen by the King of Death?" Buddha's response was clear. "If you don't cling to anything, you won't be seen by the King of Death." This means we should shift our attention away from fleeting identities, such as the roles we play, our body, our place, or whatever it may be. We should be the loving witness of this life, but without clinging to it. In a world where we dedicate considerable time to our appearance, focusing on dressing, adorning, and strengthening the body, it is essential to reflect on the brevity of the human condition. No matter how much we strive to shape the physical image, it is inevitable that over time, the body reveals its fragility. Excessive attachment to satisfying bodily desires and exclusive identification with the physical form can result in significant challenges when facing the inevitable stages of aging, illness, and ultimately, death. If our understanding of who we are is strictly tied to the youth and vitality of the body, confronting these realities can leave us feeling lost and frightened. It is crucial to recognize the complexity of existence, transcend the superficiality of the body, and cultivate a deeper understanding of our identity. By integrating emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects into our perception of self, we can find a more solid foundation to face life's inevitable challenges. true acceptance of the impermanence of the body allows us to embrace the entirety of the human experience, transcending fear and finding meaning beyond physical transience. Understand that our mind-body is literally, not metaphorically, being born and dying in every moment. It is quite curious to observe that people can witness others getting sick, the elderly can witness the death of those around them, and still think that it won't happen to them. We are not immune to the events we witness in others. Accepting this reality is not a pessimistic exercise, but an opportunity to live with deeper awareness. We need to see that death will always be present, and we will face it in various personal aspects, such as illness, losses, death of loved ones, job layoff, or unexpected divorce. However, despite living in a culture of denial, we cannot avoid death. There is no possibility of enduring it. Though we may sometimes try very hard. We seek eternal life in vain. People freeze their bodies and brains in the hope of reviving them in future centuries. In the West, we resist reflecting on aging and death because dying is considered a failure and it scares us. Yet, we need to turn towards death so that it can bring wisdom, perspective, and motivation to live each day with complete presence. Death is a counselor that can provide clarity on what truly matters. It is not necessary to wait until the death of the body to see things this way. We are immersed in this mystery, and our identity will dissolve in some way, at some point. As we experience this process of change in a very immediate and intimate way, we realize that who we are is the ever-changing waves, and the fear of death begins to dissolve, because we see that there was never anything solid or permanent. We no longer consider death a kind of failure, outside the natural order of things. In this journey, we live in the light of death, birth, change, gains and losses, praise and blame, success and failure, tragedy, and rebirth. But it is here that we find the great remedy: love. In this love, there is the trust that suffering is not the end of the story, it is just the first great truth. I see that time is nothing more than an idea, and I consider eternity as another possibility. Take a deep breath, rest in the mystery. Despite our physical fragility, our spirit can never truly die. When you understand, you will see that you are nothing, and in being nothing, you become everything. Remember, life is short,